Hey guys, it's SG here, your personal Affliction Warlock, and this is going to be an Affliction specific guide for Mistress Sassz'ine on Mythic difficulty. Before we get into the video itself, I want to talk a bit about your progression role, what you're going to be doing, what gears and legendaries you should be wearing, and what talents is the best, and also what buffer fish you want. So you can ask your raid leader, hey, can I have that? Can I get that? Can I get that? So your progression role on this fight is doing as much boss damage as possible. There's a very tight 8-minute enrage on the fight when you start progressing it, which you most likely will have issues with. The boss damage is extremely important, and you basically use the ads to gain shards to do more boss damage. Very similar to Harjitan if you watch my previous video. It kind of touches on the same ideas. In addition to that, you're really good as Affliction Warlock to be feeding ink. You have your circle that can be in an advantageous position, and you have Burning Rush, which we will get into later, which is really good for just moving across the map in unpredictable locations fast. In addition to that, you're immortal, basically immortal. You cannot die in this fight unless you fuck up majorly or no one soaks your Hydra shot. If there's two people in your Hydra shot, you're gonna live. You'll be fine. The other person will die, but you'll be fine. As for gears and legendaries, I really prefer to run a high haste mastery setup. I think this is the best performing for me, but if you have a lot of perdition relics, that might push crit a bit higher for you. But this is what I found to be most effective for me. With my setup with no perdition relics. I use 2 and 4 sets because basically 50% of your damage on the boss is going to be unstable affliction. So having a 10% increase on that is absolutely massive. I don't see any way around it. Although I see people being able to pull off really good numbers with chest, using chest legendary and only 4-piece. So they just basically hope that they proc a lot of chest procs. But this is very reliable. If you use 2+4-piece, Pride Ass and Netherlords, very reliable, basically immortal. And you can also run Soul of the Netherlord and Sephuz if you want to run 2+4-piece. But Soul of the Netherlord is almost mandatory. And then you supply it with any other legendary. So you go Netherlord Pride Ass, Netherlord and Sephuz, Netherlord and Head, Netherlord and Chest. Any of those combinations will work just fine. For trinkets, if you have any 2 of Whispers, Medallion, and Arcana Crystal, then you'll be fine. Note that the Medallion should be a really high item level one, Mythic level or above probably, for you to consider using it over a Whisper plus Arcano. As for talents, you're going to be running Writhe and Agony, Contagion, Demonic Circle, Soul Harvest, Burning Rush, Supremacy, and Soul Conduit. Even if you don't have Netherlord available, you're going to be running Soul Conduit instead of Death's Embrace. There is an argument to be made for Death's Embrace, but I think my Feely Craft suggests that Soul Conduit is better. Burning Rush and Demonic Circle is really good for this fight, utility-wise. You're going to be burning rushing all over the place to reach places faster, get into that Hydra shot, feed that fish, get away from ink, get away from the crashing wave. All that stuff is burning rush is awesome for, and you're going to be healing more than enough, so it's not a strain for healers most of the time. Demonic Circle also really strong for movement. You can port through tornadoes. You can get to your buffer fish really fast. Really good. So this is the cookie cutter build that you're probably going to be starting with, and if you need anything else, if you find that Phantom Singularity is more suited for you, then fine, but I would not recommend it for a starting build. So let's jump into the fight. Let's see what we got. So we're going to pull here in a little bit. I rune up as a good runer I am. And there's going to be footage, just the stream footage, so I'm not gonna be synced with talking here. So as we pull, I put up both dots and cast 1 UA and drain it. And here I'm seeing if I get any additional reaps. I'm not. For now, there I got one, so I reap it. I would not have reaped if I didn't get an additional reap there, because it won't cover into the UA spam that I'm about to do here after I apply Agony to all these ads. If you have Bufferfish 1, which you should have, then you're gonna be popping everything here. I have Bufferfish 2 on this kill, so I'm actually saving my my Soul Harvest and Owl and Rachel and everything for that one. You're gonna be wanting, if you can choose what Bufferfish you get, then you want number 1, number 4, and number 6 or 7. Preferably 6, but 7 is fine too. That's from 5 to 0%. You can get a lot of damage done with the Dust Embrace there, if you have the Soul of the Metal Lord. Apart from that, in phase 1, it's basically just soak the Hydro Shots, do as much damage as possible, Shard Snipe, you see here, Drain Soul, Drain Soul. Make sure you don't drop the Writhe and Agony stacks, and go ham. Here you see me tagging all the ads. Very important that you tag at least 3 ads before you pop your Soul Harvest, so you get the maximum benefit from it. If there are more ads, then tag more ads, but 3 is usually enough for you to say, okay, I did my best, I tried. And these are the windows you're looking for. Soul Harvest, Medallion if you have it, and Bufferfish. You do so much damage in these windows. You have 30 second windows where you can pull off between 3.5 and 6 million boss DPS. Boss DPS, that is. It's absolutely insane. Here we enter phase 2, continuing to soak the Hydro Shots. And from now on, I'm gonna be seeding to help with killing the ads. They don't need to die at any specific point, so I don't need to worry about what kind of damage I'm doing to them. In phase 1 and 3, you really have to be careful with how much you damage them, because they need to die for the tornado spawn. But in phase 2, you just kind of see them, agony them all, and dump UAs into the boss. Here we're feeding, and you can see I'm just 100. When we have the feed, I'm 100% focused on actually feeding. I put Burning Rush on, and I run around like a retard trying to feed as much ink as possible. New ads are coming. Agony them all. Here in a bit. There we go. Seed, agony, 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 and then you back to UA spam on the boss. Again, feed, and as Affliction, you really just self-heal enough off of your Corruption self-heals and then Drain after and Soul Leech that you can almost keep Burning Rush on forever, and it's not a problem. Here I mistime it a bit. I didn't see that I have my I didn't see that I had the Bufferfish cooldown when I was supposed to pick it up, and then I got hit by a Hydro Shot, and I decided, fuck it, let's just pick it up anyway, which was probably a loss. I should have waited after the next Devouring Maw, and then I should have picked it up. But these are the kind of mistakes that are very common during progression. You really want to min-max your boss damage to help out the timer, the Berserk timer, as much as possible. Here we're about to enter phase. We're about to enter phase 3, and this is when it really gets hectic. A lot is happening at the same time, and you need to pay attention. If you're picking up a Bufferfish, you need to pay attention to what debuffs you have. If you have you can't pick up a Bufferfish if you have a Consuming Hunger on you, then you need to ask for a Blessing of Protection or wait for it to drop off, which will actually happen to me later. But apart from that, it's just soaking the correct ones, putting the correct amount of damage into the ad stat spawn. For the first one, you probably should not seed in this phase, because they need to live for a fairly long time. So agony for shard regen should be more than enough. And you will see me fail quite a bit doing damage here. I'm not playing well in this phase. I'm missing Reap, I'm shard capping, I'm missing contagion uptime on the boss, all sorts of mistakes. And I'm not gonna make any excuse for it, it's just bad play. Here the first set dies, the second ad set die, the second ad set spawns, and this set actually needs to live for even longer. You keep this set for a very, very long time. So you gotta be careful. You might not even want to agony them a second time. It might be a bit scary to agony them a second time. See here, I'm not even agonying them because I can't hit them yet. There we go. Now I can hit them. Agony everything. And back to the boss. Here I'm supposed to pick up my buffer fish. This is buffer fish number 6, which I'm assigned to. Very good for Affliction to get number 6. But I'm not able to get it because I get a Hydro Shot and then a Consuming Hunger. And I don't get a bop, so I just pop it. I'm asking for a bot right now, but I'm not getting it. So I'm not getting it, and then I get the next Hydro Shot as well. And then I get a new Consuming Hunger after that, so I get absolutely fucked by debuffs here. To pick up any Hydro Shot. And I actually kill our Shaman here. Don't ever do what I did right there. Don't ever move last second with Hydro Shot. Very, very, very bad. So learn from my mistakes. Please don't do that. Here I'm shard capping again. I'm not reaping. God, this is awful to watch. Here you can see me pumping UAs into ads. It's only because they need to die. I only pump UAs into ads when they need to die. And from here on out, after this Tornado and Hydro Shot, you should be getting really close to Enrage. We have 15 seconds here, and it's basically just kill the boss before she kills you. Stay alive, kill the boss.
Nice. Fy fan.
Nej, det är fan. Den är borta.
Ikke glem at dere kommer først til å dø. I don't wanna die.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give me some feedback in the comment sections if you didn't like it. I hope I did a fairly good job of explaining it all, and if it was a bit messy, then I apologize. See you, peace.